You're welcome. From that break in French, we say bienvenue. Cameroon is bilingual, and the reasons why the head of state created a commission in charge of bilingualism and multiculturalism, so as to encourage bilingualism and to encourage multiculturalism with plus 250 ethnic groups, diverse cultural heritage, singing one song, unity in a diversity, and entrepreneurship is the watchword. Before we continue, if you are just joining us, we have Mr. Roland Kwemain in the house, who is equally, has once been the president of Junior Chiambah International, which has membership of plus 70 countries all around the world, an organization that is based on preaching peace, leadership, good governance among our youth, and entrepreneurship within the world, and believe that the world will only be a better place if those who react have to react the way when they have to react. That is when duty calls. Mr. Roland Kwemain have been able to bring peace among young people in and around the world, and especially in countries that have been, through financial challenges. As the president of Junior Chiambah International in the year 2009, during his reign, he was able to put the flag of Cameroon up high and create a new perception and wipe away the old mentality where most people looked at Cameroonians as being corrupt and power hungry. When his mandate ended, he was able to seek, to go down and to applaud the next person, and give his support and considered that it is done and dusted, as the case may be. Mr. Roland Kwemain, am I right?
Maybe you are too kind for me, but JCI has an institutional framework such a way you can't change the constitution. That's one. It's a 1 year to lead. And I was president in 2010, but I was elected in 2009. So you are elected in November, and there's a 1 month transition we're in more than 20 countries, 200,000 members active, and more than 13 million alumni, because it's an organization that at the age of 40, you graduate. Now I'm 46, so more than 6 years ago, I'm not more.
But they say youth is an aspect of the mind.
No, I'm not.
Don't you think that you should have still?
No, I'm not a young
because
person.
Other Africans or other people, it's not just African, Asian.
I'm not a young person. I'm 46 years old. I'm not a young married kid. I'm not a young
the
person.
first of its kind.
No, I'm not. I'm not a young. Be very careful, because in all my travels around the world, when I was JCI president, I was 39 years old, and I went around the world talking to young people. If you take the standard of UNESCO, youth is 35 years maximum. There are other organizations that youth even goes to 28. So you cannot take a girl of 46 years with kids.
We are used to the normal mentality.
No, I'm sorry. We are all over the world. Cameroon is not an island, so I have to be very careful. We belong to the global world. If you at 40, I don't know, or you think you're a kid, you go around the world, you'll be shocked.
Okay.
I was 39 years old as JCI world president, and in my trip, I don't think I was too young. I met many youth minister around the world. The youngest youth minister I met was 24 years, Honduras. He was 24. So we had the youth minister 32, 35. Really youth.
We are glad to have somebody of your caliber. So we shape Cameroon.
But I'm passionate about young people. I understand them. I've been working with them for the past 25 years. Since I came to Boya some 20 years ago, I opened, I think, the second cyber cafe at Com. My, what we call in French, matière première, is youth. My finished product is youth. So I'm passionate about you. I can talk about young people because I'm with them, but I'm not a young person.
We are glad to have you. At least if most Cameroonians are like you, believe that Boya, Cameroon will be a better place, as it has always been better.
So I have a joke. Boya, for me, is the best city in the world. Yes.
Legendary hospitality.
Legendary, amazing people. I want to thank
the Silicon Mountain.
The Silicon Mountain, the IT guys, the capital of the entertainment now with music, Mr. Leo, Salatier, Daphne. We should be very proud. A city that is growing. I think it's the 3rd growing city since 2015. So we should be very proud of Boya, and I'm very proud of this city.
No wonder the head of state, His Excellency President Paul Biya, says that Boya is close to his heart. Mr. Roland Kwemain, straight on a topic of discussion, coming back to, we have a lot of businesses in Cameroon, and lots of businesses, early start up, start crumble with heavy capital, and you go to other nations, you see early startup with smaller capital, multi-complex companies and businesses years after. What's the stake amidst what we need to do to ensure that big early startup in Cameroon don't crumble? Is it just the aspect of finance or leadership?
It's governance. It's governance. Now, you will see very well, how do we select the managers, the CEOs? How are they selected? What are the criteria? Now, if you look the purely private companies, they are doing well, because there is performance, it's excellence. You can cite them. It's excellence, it's performance. There, you are not good, you are gone. But if you look at the public sectors, the companies that are owned by the government, that's where we're having those challenges. Cameco, you can cite, where the president has put billions. Do you know that Rwanda started with just few planes, with little me? Rwanda has 250 staff. The Cameco 800 or 900 staff, with 1 or 2 planes. No, sometimes when we are so incompetent, I still remember in the secondary schools, when a teacher was incompetent, that teacher will make the subject so difficult. Until when I was in terminal, because I did the Francophone system, I wanted to very. So when I was in terminal, and he said, "Teng Douala Kumasi, real marketing," my mathematics teacher, for 1 year, taught us without coming in the class with a book, textbook. When he came, he said, the last time, where did we stop? You give him, he continued the mathematics. He made mathematics so simple until we thought that math was even more simple than, I don't know, geography, history. Because this guy was so good, was so competent. When you you see the Messi, Eto'o, Ronaldo play football,
it's too easy.
It's too easy. The way you are presenting your paper, I'm like, oh, because there's a sense of competence, professionalism. So again, I'm repeating, all the companies you have seen, if they are not doing well, it's governance, it's poor leadership. So let us not go, we should be very honest to ourselves. If we love our country, we love the president and the leadership, we should also be truthful to ourselves. It will be a sad situation that you call me an expert, and international, I'm recognized as an expert. Then you come and ask me this question and start to lie. That's the problem we have been having, where intellectuals that have to be like the light of society, they have decided to start telling lies. Science is science. Now we can play with other things. The problem we are having with the companies, especially the public-owned company, is governance.
Okay, Roland Kwemain, we apologize for taking the whole of your Sunday evening. Time good enough to start some few messages before we move straight to the point. Mr. Roland, I admire everything you have said and advised. I am a contract teacher, and while thanking God for this job, I won't lie that I barely struggle to live because monthly overdraft is like a surname. I attend St. Charles Mission, sir. It happens. Okay, I with your permission, explain my plight. That teachers, are not paid because of they don't perform their function because they are not being paid. And this one is a political one. Good. This other one is George from Bumaka, Boya. Mr. Chairman, is real, clear. It's real and clear that youth have the skills, vision, and leaders, but freedom of speech has retarded it down. I wish to ask Mr. Chairman how these youth put to practice their skills and vision with such a climate.
I think I would advise the young people, they should read or look at the history of humanity. Most of the time we read history, we learn history, but we don't learn from history. If you look at the history of humanity, there have always been challenges, but it is the responsibility of each generation to take ownership of your vision and to make sure that it becomes a reality. So the challenges will always be there. There will always be problems, but you should never give up. Never give up. But the other challenge that young people have is that they are too individualistic. They should come together as a platform. That's why I really encourage the Silicon Mountain concept, philosophy and phenomenon. You can see now all the television, France 24, BBC. The other day
Even
coming. Yeah. The other day I brought the Canadian television after the Digital Economy Forum in Yaoundé. I was one of the facilitator. I brought them here and they were amazed. I'm sorry I didn't have the opportunity to bring them. Also, I would have loved them to come and see with the little means what you guys are doing. So for me, it's a first mindset. Now we are totally in accord that the institutional framework, the ecosystem is quite challenging. But what do? Should we give up? I said, don't give up. You must survive. And there's a time for everything. For those who are very spiritual and inclined like I, there's a time to sow and a time to reap. Is it that's sow?
Yes, there's a time to sow and a time to reap.
So I think this is the time to sow. I would say let us continue to be patient, to be perseverance. What I always call the famous P's. We should respect our parents. We should continue to be persuasive. We should work for profit. So our company should be profitable. So it means that we should be very, very serious on managing the small resources. If you don't manage it at this level well, it's not tomorrow when you have a lot of resources. Yeah. And last but not the least, they should be prayerful. You know, everything can, you know, things can be up, down, but what should keep you constantly strong is your faith, is the prayer.
Luke chapter 18 verse 1 says, man ought to pray, man must pray, and man has to pray. Mr. Roland Kwemain, loved by many, admired by all, coming back now to you again, the aspect of, you know, leadership, especially at the level of smaller businesses that just deal with 50,000, 100,000, 500,000, they keep crumbling. Even in Boya, you move around, you see signposts left and right, but days after, months after you go, they no longer exist. So as a specialist, we know that you deal with young men on a daily basis, either at the level of consultancy or organizing seminars and forums. What is it that we are lacking in Boya that need to put Boya first before any other city?
Let me be very honest. Boya is, I'm here since 19 years, almost 20 years. Boya is among the prominent cities in the country, which is, now, the advantage that we have is that we are not too far from Douala. When I came here in 98 and opened my business, what I did was that I continued my consultancy to Douala. Douala is very close by, so which is a blessing for us. The other aspect that we quickly pass and I want to come back is the bilingualism.
Yes.
We have seen with the current crisis that we are facing that people start to believe that what should be a blessing is now like a curse.
Yes.
Bilingualism for me is a blessing, and if I have time, I will develop it. When I became JCI World President, all the advantages I had. Maybe for your, I just want to remind our televiewers, Jervis, that I did French studies, so I'm Francophone. But the fact that I'm here in Boya, I took advantage of the language, and today I have many international openings, conferences, seminars, workshops that I'm the main facilitator in English. Now, since for those who have done the French system, you see that I also did Espanol, because in the Francophone system, you do la deuxième langue. Yeah. So, making me to speak at least 3 languages. French, if I put Pidgin, it's 4.
It's 4.
So, no, because I'm thinking about it. When I put down my dialect, I think we have everything come in. We should embrace it as a gift and not as a curse. Now, the question to the young people, why small businesses are collapsing? First, we have to be very honest, access to finances. When they start with 50,000, you can see after 2, 3 months, 6 months, if you don't have the discipline, if you are not hard on yourself, you might make a confusion between the capital and the benefit. You know, when a day you have made a turnover of 1,000, the 1,000 is the money you are seeing. But what is your real money in that 1,000? If in that 1,000 you have to put small for the space that you are renting, you have not to forget the light bill, telephone. So you must have what we call analytic accounting. So it is important for these young entrepreneurs that are doing it by accident, by frustration, to have the humility now to go back and go to small classes on accountability, accounting, how to, financial administration for non-financial experts. income, expenditures, you need to make this analysis. Then from there, the next step is, do they have a business plan? They must try. Where is their business? They are seeing their business in 1 year, in 3 years, in 5 years. What is the vision? Or they are just there while waiting? Because you might say, okay, they have closed. Maybe they are closed because they wanted to travel. Maybe they were doing it as temporary. When I decided to come to Boya in 1998, my friends, my mates said, Roland, you are mad. Qu'est-ce que tu peux faire, Boya? But I had a vision. So almost 19 years, 20 years after, all of them are telling me, but Roland, you had it. So what is a vision all about, so that you understand? It's a dream. It's an inspiration from God. And the only time to have it is when you withdraw, what we call retreat. Most of the time, you look, for those who read the Bible, you will see that many great decisions, Bible, Quran, all the rest, were taken by all the leaders that were celebrating in this holy, on these holy books. They withdrew. Yes. They went to the mountain, they went to the desert, they withdrew. How often do we withdraw? When you go to Moloko, your neighborhood, music so loud, I feel sorry for the entrepreneurs. The music is too much. You want to sell phone, you play music. You want to sell beer, so they don't have time to reflect. There is a whole job of spirituality on entrepreneurship, on leadership. So they must have time to withdraw, and we have Bojongo.
Yeah, the shrine of
the shrine, the retreat, the foyer, the charité. The Catholic Church has amazing. You can go to Boya Town, the PCC, at the mount. We have blessed here the mountain to withdraw and spend even a weekend and brainstorm, think, reflect about. It's not that, okay, Javi started call box. There's a lot of imitation.
Copy and paste.
Copy and paste. Is it really a vision? But those who had that vision, that had that dream, that passion, I want to tell you, Jarvis, they are making it. So, most of the time, the businesses that are collapsing, if you look very well, is 80% the responsibility of the entrepreneur. I want to look at their profile. How and why they became entrepreneur. Are they the guys that did all the concours? They wanted to be policemen, customs, tax inspector. They wanted to be all that because there is money. And why do they want to be police, medical, Are you getting me? So it's not a call, it's not a vocation. So from there, from the first challenge, you close. But if it was a passion, if it was something that is driven by a call, that conversation, that inner voice between you and your creator, I'm sure, despite the up and down, you will go, because when God provides you a vision, there's always a provision.
Mr. Roland Kwemain, permit me to call you the Doctor of Leadership and Entrepreneurship. We note that you are so rich with a lot of advice and practicalities on how some of these things can be achieved with little or nothing. We are slowly but surely moving to the midterm of this program. Good day, it's Mukete from Checkpoint. I am a motivational speaker. I would like to have a meeting with Mr. Roland for his mentorship. He's so inspirational, and I love him for what he is saying, and that is good enough for young people. Thank you very much, and keep your messages coming. What do you think can be done in order to enhance good governance in Africa, and specifically in Cameroon? We'll take on a brief break. When we come back, we'll dive into part B of the program, looking at Mr. Roland Kwemain profile and his business affairs and what he's been able to put in order to save Cameroon without Cameroon, and equally we're looking at what he thinks can be done regarding the Anglophone saga vis-a-vis a bishop of Bafia who traveled to eternity. We'll be right back.